We're at Rosslyn Park for the world's largest school sevens tournament, where Kukri have more than 60 schools kitted out, and we'll be catching up with some of them throughout the tournament. Coming up, we'll be chatting with former England head coach Brian Ashton, and we'll also be joined by London Wasps superstars Christian Wade and Tom Varndell. And if that's not enough, we have a world exclusive. We'll be launching our Kukri Hex Agility Rings for the very first time, but with so much going on, we better go and check out the action. So as day one of the Open competition got underway, we watched as Millfield squeezed past Exeter in a tight encounter. Millfield clinched victory with this fantastic team try. And despite the challenging weather conditions, there were still lots of tries being scored. Here we have the Kirkham boys poaching a try. So with the men's competition heating up nicely, it was also great to see the girls giving it their all.
Hi, we're Christ Hospital School and we're here at Rosslyn Park.
As day one developed, Kukri kitted schools Kings Macclesfield and Sedbergh were cruising into the knockout stages. We'll have more on them later. But first, we had some familiar faces visit us in the Kukri shop. Now, to make it as a sevens player, you need two things: speed and good feet, something that these guys have in common. We've got Tom Varndell and Christian Wade. Guys, thanks so much for coming down here. It's great to see you. Tell me, you played at Rosslyn Park Sevens, didn't you, as a young lad? What was it like back then?
Oh, it's awesome. It's probably like the highlight of the season for me, because obviously 15s is good, but sevens is like just the sport where players like Tom and myself get to show what we can do. Really, there's lots of space and we get the ball a lot of time. So yeah, it was just the highlight of the year really. And just couldn't wait for national sevens to come around. So obviously you go out there and show your stuff.
It's become really, really popular, hasn't it, sevens? It's going to be in the next Olympics. Have you played in the Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, played in the Commonwealth Games. Amazing experience, and obviously to get a medal as well was fantastic. And the fact it's Olympic sport now, I think it'll do wonders for the game. It's going to go from strength to strength, make it a bit more of a global game. Small nations get to be involved, and it's a bit more of a level playing field, because it's down to your basic skills, your speed, your power. One missed tackle and the team goes and scores. So it's a high pressure game, but it's so much fun.
We've just seen Christian Wade and Tom Varndell using the Kukri Hex Agility Rings. I'm joined now with the creator, Richie Wall. Richie, tell me, what are these agility rings?
It's something we've created as an evolution to what's currently out there, so it sort of combines what you can do with ladders, with hurdles, with speed rings into one multifunctional product. So we call it the new training aid to learn, apply and enhance your speed and agility. And obviously, as you've seen with these guys, they absolutely love it.
I thought it was brilliant. Obviously, we've got ladders already, but this takes the SAQ part of it, to another level. The fact that it's very versatile, you can move it around. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's good fun as well. It just changes training a bit more and makes it a bit more exciting.
Oh, they're awesome. Obviously, the first time I've come across the hex rings, and yeah, they're great. There's a lot more options you can use with them, unlike the ladders where it's obviously forwards and off to a 90-degree angle. You can actually make these diagonal, obviously with the 6 different sides, and the drills that the guys have showed me are amazing. And I think I'm going to have to purchase some of these hex rings for myself.
So back to the action. As mentioned, the King's School Macclesfield and Sedbergh made it through to day 2 of the Open competition. In their first game, Macclesfield took on Hurst College. In deteriorating conditions, Kings Macclesfield took an early lead with this well-worked try. Though the second half was a different story, as her strong defence and attacking ambition prevailed, effectively ending any chances of the silverware heading back to Cheshire. Meanwhile, Sedbergh began day 2 in a confident fashion, comfortably beating Mount St Mary's in a physical, entertaining game. This fine solo effort by captain Edward Smith was the pick of the first half action. The game remained tight as it progressed into the second half, though as legs tired, Sedbergh began to run the tries in. And later on, the lads from Cumbria booked their place in the semis with another assured performance against John Fisher School. We'll show you how they got on in the knockout stages shortly. Now, some of you watching might be thinking, what does a coach look for in a good player? Well, who better to tell us than former England international head coach, Brian Ashton. Brian, great to see you down here.
Hi, Katie.
I know that as a Kukri ambassador, you travel the length and breadth of the UK, don't you?
Yeah.
Basically coaching some of our students at Kukri schools. What makes an exceptional player?
Well, I like to describe it as players who've got the X factor. There's players who think differently about how the game can be played and can actually translate that into action on the field. So they actually play the game in a slightly different way from your run-of-the-mill player.
And can you give us an example of someone who you've probably seen from a really young age and you've just seen them develop?
Yeah, I can, and that would be Danny Cipriani, who at the age of 16, 17 was in my national academy, and he was definitely a player that did things differently and looked at the game differently and wanted to change the nature of the game, really. And it's quite interesting to see his development over the last 8 years or so, where that's far less evident now than it ever used to be, and you wonder why that be. You could always speculate maybe, you know, part of that's been coached out of him in the professional game.
So as the open competition reached the semi-final stage, Sedbergh took on Welsh school Coleg Cigar in a heated encounter. With a narrow half-time lead, the game could have gone either way, though once again Sedbergh's fitness levels came to fruition and they ran out 28-5 winners and were on their way to their first final appearance at Rosslyn Park since 2008. The final against Woodhouse Grove was a tense and scrappy affair, played in appalling conditions. Sedbergh's defence had been strong throughout the whole tournament, and it once again paid dividends as they held off a late surge by Woodhouse Grove to win the game 7-0 and be crowned champions. Afterwards, we caught up with proud head coach James Tiffany to get his reaction to the victory in the familiar weather conditions.
Yeah, fantastic. We've had a really tough season in many ways. We missed a large part of our 15 seasons through to months, and our 7 seasons been almost decimated by the weather, frozen pitches, waterlogged fields. So to win the tournaments we've entered is fantastic, and the boys deserve it. Worked fantastically hard throughout. Well, this is about normal for us. We're kind of used to this up in Cumbria, so probably we train in the rain and the wet more than anybody else. So this is positively like home.
Well, it's been a fantastic week here at Rosslyn Park despite the weather, and we've seen lots of teams doing well wearing their Kukri kit. We'll see you again next year.